Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Indy, and today we're going to review Wayward Strand.
Alright, here we are.
Now, who are you?
Casey.
I'm Casey. Wonderful name. Very original. I'm Esther. Nice to meet you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to go solve a mystery about a goat.
Wayward Strand is a heartfelt story about Casey, a young teenager tasked with a weekend of helping her mother in a hospital, which just so happens to be an airship. Set in the 1970s, Casey is an aspiring journalist and is determined to unlock the mysteries of the airship by spending time with each of its occupants. How much time she spends with each one is up to you, but you must stay busy as the day actually moves in real time. Now, there isn't a ton to talk about with Wayward Strand. The game is pretty cut and dry on what you're supposed to do, and the game is fairly short. I didn't time my playthrough, but I think it took about 4 hours. It's only a 3 days worth of work for Casey, and once aboard the airship, that clock is a ticking. There are some good and there are some bad things about this game. Now, let's talk about the good first. First off, the game looks wonderful. There's something about this art style that is so incredibly pleasing to my eyes. It's definitely what turned me on to this game and got me to play it. The voice work is done exceptionally well. I think I read somewhere there is about 2,500 lines of dialogue in the game. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. Also, I very much enjoy having a ton of dialogue options to choose from. I always like to see what path I can go down with these type of games. One of my favorite parts of the game was a character named Ida. She reminded me of my grandmother so much that towards the end of the game, I was going back and checking on her way more than the other ones. I also enjoyed how the game continuously unfolds. It won't wait around on you. So you do kind of feel a sense of urgency to learn as much as possible in a timely manner. I mean, I was really digging, trying to figure out more about the airship and its occupants, for a time at least. While the dialogue options were great, and finding out the little quirks of the occupants, there really isn't much substance there to keep you interested for a long period of time. I felt the running back from one room to another kind of tedious, and most of the time you wouldn't learn much else. I needed to fill up my journal, with good tidbits, but it felt like pulling teeth to get those clues or whatever I was searching for, most of the time. I'm assuming this was done for the replayability of the game. And while I enjoyed the majority of the characters, I still feel as if there wasn't enough variety with them. It all felt, kind of the same. There just wasn't enough for me to, ask or to dive deep into these characters. Again, perhaps I'm assuming this was for the replaying factor, but I don't have time to play a game over and over and over again that already felt was kind of a tad boring. The game does come to a conclusion, so yes, you can stop, but you will definitely feel a little empty if you do. I also ran into some issues with my character carrying around like invisible trays, or the game asking me if I wanted to step into a room when I was actually at the time listening to a conversation out in the dining hall. And one of my biggest gripes would be that I really just didn't have anything to do. other than, it's either listen to a conversation, ask a question, or just sit there. I wanted to be able to do some more tasks. I wanted to be helpful, but I just wasn't, for the most part, All I could do was fill a water jug for a lady that didn't even speak to me. And all I really wanted to do was just help some people out. But instead, I just had to sit there and listen. While Wayward Strand had its moments, it just didn't live up to what I envisioned when I first watched the trailer for it. It's not a terrible game by any stretch, but it surely isn't great either. I love the art style of the game, and the voiceover work is really good. But it left me, sad to say, just bored for most of the time during my playthrough. I didn't have enough tasks to do, and I really didn't find out everything that I wanted to about certain characters. Unfortunately, that comes with replaying the game. But I don't really want to replay a game that's already had me kind of bored in the first place. There just wasn't enough, again, for me to do. Running from floor to floor, talking to people over and over again that just didn't give me enough information that I wanted, that I seeked. There were a few moments in the game that were kind of cool. Obviously, you don't want to spoil anything, but, there were some moments in the game that was kind of cool, and everything. Just, that wasn't all that great. It wasn't enough, I needed more. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I wasn't completely disappointed with the game. It wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. I thought there was going to be a little bit more to it. It is just a very story-based game, so, I enjoy story-based games, but this one just was a little too slow for me. It was quite slow. But yeah, other than that, thank you again so much for watching the video. And I wanted to do one little thing though. I actually have one fan that likes this channel so much that he talks about it. And I just wanted to give John a shout out. I hope he's watching. And thanks, John. Appreciate you, buddy.